Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Yoga for Skaters YouTube channel. My name is Ace, your friend in yoga and off skates training, and today we have a mobility for slides 10-minute practice. So this is going to be a quick practice. This is a complementary practice to the Yoga for Skaters 10 minutes of stability for slides. So this particular practice, we are going to be focusing on two actions of the hip. And as we build mobility or strength in range of motion for these two actions of the hip, we can start to activate more fluid lateral motion, which is what we're doing when we're sliding on coping, rails, ledges, wherever. So for our practice today, we're focusing on internal rotation. So that means internally rotating the hip as well as external rotation of the hip. So there will be a little bit of stretching in here, but for the most part, this is going to give you an opportunity to feel out where your range of motion is and build from there. Again, with this mobility, you'll be able to have access to more lateral hip movement, and it's just good to be mobile. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. We're going to get started with some spinal opening here. So go ahead and take a nice wide stance. As you inhale, reach the arms up and out, send the hips forward. And then as you exhale, give yourself a big hug, send the hips back, find an easy forward fold. Yeah. As you inhale, once again, go ahead and rise up, take up as much space as you can, and then exhale again into that forward fold. Very nice. And then go ahead, inhale your way up one more time with the big reach. Perfect. And then just come to an easy standing position. So we're going to get started here with some more passive hip flexor motion, just flexing that hip. So go ahead and balance on the left foot, draw that right knee to your chest for a little hold, and then switch sides. So we're going to move side to side here. And I like warming up mobility with this particular move because we are, again, focusing on the hips, focusing on internal and external rotation, but we're going to be going one leg at a time. So we're going to want to have that strong balance so that we can focus on the mobility rather than the balance too much. But of course, if you want to use a wall, a chair, that's always an option to support your balance. Again, for this particular practice, we're really focusing on those actions of the hip. So if you need some balance support, go ahead and take it. All right, nice. So our next drill is going to be mobility here. So we're going to be taking the right hip through three actions. We'll start by bringing that right knee up and over towards the left hip. And what I want you to notice here is that I'm not twisting to make that hip go to the left. I am just squeezing the inner thigh to take it to the left. Then I'll bring it down, and then my knee comes straight up to the chest without using my hand this time. Leg comes down, and then we'll take it wide. So knee comes out, and then right back down. Let's do two more times on this side. So we take that right knee up over to the left, feel through that inner thigh. Good. Bring that knee to chest. You feel right at the front of the hip there. Good. And then we'll take that out. So you're feeling those outer hips, those external rotators. One more time here. Right knee goes to the left. Right knee comes to the chest. Good. And then right knee goes out to the right. Perfect. Okay, let's do the second side. So same thing. We'll start by bringing that left knee up and over to the right. Perfect. And then left knee straight up to the chest. Good. And then left knee comes wide to the side. So what I'm doing here is I want to keep my pelvis level, right? I want to work with my hip mobility, right? Not necessarily moving the whole pelvis. So I'm keeping my hands on my hips just to notice if when I bring that knee up, I'm hiking the hip, and I don't want to do that. Perfect. All right. We've got one more time through these three on this last side. Good. Feel that inner thigh of the left. Good. Knee to chest. Perfect. And then knee wide. All right, nice. So from here, let's go ahead and mobilize the pelvis. So we'll take the feet nice and wide into our prasarita stance, and then we're just going to start by shifting the hips to the right, bending into the right knee, and send the hips back. Then we come to center, and we'll go to that second side. Perfect. All right, let's keep going side to side here. Nice. And you'll notice that as you build that mobility through the hips and the pelvis, as you go to the right, you feel a nice stretch through that left inner thigh. Perfect. As you go to the left, you feel a nice stretch through the right inner thigh. Good. This time, as you go to the right, can you send the hips back and around and transition to the left without coming through standing? So this is another variation here that you can use to mobilize and kind of feel through your body's range of motion. So when we know our range of motion off skates, it can help us feel a little more comfortable moving through that range of motion on skates. Good. One more time to the right. Perfect. And one more time to the left. Beautiful. Go ahead and come back through center. And then from here, go ahead and heel toe those feet together so that we're in an air squat position. So feet a little bit wider than the hips, knees are open. And from here, we're just going to roll our way down into a forward fold. So externally rotated hips right now as we work for some squat drops. So as you come down, press the knees wide. Perfect. Drop those hips and then lift right back up. Good. And then we drop it down and lift it up. Awesome. We drop it down once again. Good. Lift it up. And then from here, press through the bottoms of those feet, slowly rise all the way up to standing. Nice. So external rotation with those feet turned out for our squat position. From this squat position here, we're going to add on some internal rotation. So what I want you to find here is your squat, but not all the way down so that you're not using any muscles. So for me, all the way down would be here. My back is rounded and I don't really want to be moving from this position, but I'll come into my nice strong squat where my back is nice and neutral, tailbone back, core is strong. And then from here, our internal rotation, you'll pivot on the ball of the left foot and you're going to aim to bring that left knee towards the right toes. Then back to your squat. Yeah. And then same thing, pivoting on the right heel, bringing that right knee to the left toes, and then right back to your squat. Good. So take it slow. We're going to go side to side a few times. Nice. Working through that internal rotation and bringing the leg all the way back to your squat, all the way back to external rotation. Very nice. Here we go. Let's do a few more. Side to side. Beautiful. This is also a great movement for warming up for skating. Good. All right, my friends, here we go. One more time each side. Take it to the right. Good. Take it to the left. Nice. And then from here, go ahead and stand all the way up. Good. So shake out the legs here. Nice little spicy moment there. And then from here, we'll just even it out. So taking a chair pose, all 10 toes forward, send the hips back and down, and find a moment to hold. As you're here, right, we activated the hips and the rotational capacity of the hips. So as you're here in your chair pose, can you feel a little more space, those thigh bones sinking back, tailbone sinking down? And then can you come all the way down to your seat? Beautiful. All right, so we're just going to round out this short mobility for slides practice with some outer hip stretch. So for this one, go ahead and cross your right foot in front of your left. And with that right foot crossed in front, bring the shin to parallel with your mat. So you don't have to tuck that ankle under. We'll be right here. And then just start to walk your way forward. Awesome. As you walk your way forward, you might start to feel this through the outer right hip, maybe that low back, low side back, and then walk it over to the left. Perfect. And with that right hand, can you reach a little further? Breathing into the right side body. Inhale. And exhale. Perfect. Nice. So you can stay here as long as feels good for you. We'll walk it back through center. Good. We'll walk it back up and just switch sides. So left shin in front of the right. Good. We'll start with that forward fold. Nice. And then maybe here, as we're stretching it out, you notice a difference in range of motion from side to side for the stretch. And that's some good information as far as your mobility goes. So we can use flexibility training or stretching, right? Static stretching to inform mobility and vice versa. So it all works together. That's the magic of yoga and movement, as I'm sure you all know as roller skaters. So let's take one more breath here with the hands over to the right. Good. Big inhale. And then walk it back through center. Walk those hands back up. Find your comfortable seat. So maybe hands in your lap or hands to prayer. A moment to thank yourself for making it to your mat today. A moment to extend that gratitude to one another for sharing this practice and this Yoga for Skaters community. The light and the teacher in me sees the light, and the teacher in all of you. Namaste.